It's pretty dark in here. If I don't have the truck hooked up, I can't run these small, almost nothing lights. So that's not good enough. Most people I've seen on the YouTube have gotten this same set, these LED strip lights. They got a power button on them, easy, quick to mount, and just run them through. And this is what they look like. You can either use adhesive or you can use the little clips that come with. I'm going to use the clips just because this trailer is going to get hot. Anyways, it's pretty straightforward, positive, negative. I've got 8 in this pack. I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to put 2 on roughly the back third, 2 in this middle third, 2 up here by the front, and then I'll have 2 more that I'm actually going to put somewhere in here. So they're shining down on, call it the workbench. But again, trying to keep better with not just talking my way through things and showing 15 steps that don't need to be shown. These are the small clips that fairly small, fairly thin. They come with basically some small, I guess number 6 screws meant just to go into some wood. But I'm gonna go into these ceiling structural pieces. So the self-tappers we go. All right, so we got the first 2 lights up and a very temporary battery cooler step stool situation. But that's what we're looking like, and we'll go ahead and connect the battery to it, and we'll see what it looks like. Let there be light. All right, so just got back from work travel. It's the weekend after VIR, and it's back on the trailer because, well, I learned some things while up at the track that I can definitely improve for the next event here in like almost 2 months. So that being said, it's time to go ahead and recap where we're at on the electrical and show what we got to do next. All right, so the weekend, I pretty much used this small 9 amp hour battery that I have for my rain barrel transfer pump. And I ran 1 or 2 of these lights pretty much the entire weekend. And yeah, it worked pretty dang well. That being said, going up to 200 amp hours means I don't have to run just 1 light, I can run more. And while we're recapping things, the switches that I ended up getting were like 2 3/4 inches deep. So it's obviously not gonna fit just recessed into the wall. So what I'm gonna do is I'll just 3D print something that's going to, call it, fit in somewhere either up here or down here. It's gonna fit in, angle it towards the door so it can be less off the wall. All right, so this is the switches that I'm gonna end up using, and you can see that it's a bit deeper than my wall is thick. So that's what I mean by we're gonna get this in some sort of bracket that I can recess it into the wall. All right, so it's just another day here in the trailer again, and still working on lighting. And yeah, let's go ahead and take a peek at the update. So here where my future switches will be, my yellow wires are going to my door light directly outside the man door. These white wires are going to be coming out right through here or somewhere in this region, and that's where my 2 additional overhead lights are going to be. They're going to be 1 here and 1 there. I'll put those directly when needed. And sorry, red is all of these 6 that are up in the ceiling right now. Blue is the one I'm working on right now, and that is going to be doing my 2 ramp lights and then my exterior 3rd light on the top of my little spoiler. You can see it kind of hanging down in the back. That is my blue wire that's run. All my other wires are kind of just behind this cabinet, waiting to get terminated onto my fuse block. And that wire hanging down is for my USB hub. I decided that I'm just gonna run that to the fuse block instead of to the switches because it has its own little on-off switch. All right, so end of today's progress. We've got wires up there all the way to there. And one thing that I did not notice was holding these this little panel on as a Torx instead of everything else on this trailer, which is a square drive. So I'll remember to bring a Torx bit to get that, and yeah, should be good. Also, I definitely did not sleep in here. So for those that are super eagle-eyed, you will be able to tell that is not a Torx bit. That is an 8-point, I believe. 2, 4, I don't know how many that is. That's a lot more points than my Torx bit has. So can't actually run the wires to the actual ramp light. It's just still sitting there. But what I can do is I can go ahead and finish out my overhead door light, and then actually mount my focus. Then can actually mount my actual workbench lights there, which I've got a big mess. Anyways, progress is progress. And if I haven't already said it yet, I greatly dislike that this entire trailer was put together and assembled with wire taps like these that are all over the place. Oh well. Go ahead and snip these off, terminate this so it's not to be used, and then we'll go ahead and yellow to red, black to black, and then I can go ahead and connect my yellow wire underneath there. All right, so we have a conclusion to my 8-pointed star / Torx bit saga, and I feel dumb. All right, so this is the fastener. So not sure what size it was, so I grabbed this T15. That's not it. Cool. Grabbed a T25. Not it. Cool. All right, it's got to be the T20 then, right? Before I realized it was 8 points. Nope. So after trying all the Torx bit sizes that I had, I even tried some other oddball things. It never dawned on me that 8 points is also a double square, just rotated on an axis. And every other fastener is just like that, a square bit. You take your square bit and it works perfectly. So yeah, I'm a dum-dum. All right, so right now we've got our ramp door closed and just a side door for right now. And this is what it is when the side door is closed. Barely can make my face out. Got a little bit of a vent light up there. But and let there be light. So cool. Now we've got my indoor or my overhead lights complete. That's awesome. Then I have just my workbench lights. Awesome. Well, not gonna be able to see that. But yeah, my over door light right out here works. My USB, which is right there, that's hooked up and works. I just finished wiring up the outdoor, my ramp lights, but the testing showed something's not right. So didn't bring a voltmeter with me, or multimeter, so I'll go back home and get that, and that'll be finishing up putting up this access panel and cleaning up. All right, so after wiring up those ramp lights, went to flip the switch. Switch isn't working. The switch does show that it is working, so checked continuity and checked that there actually is a working switch. So somewhere between there, up, over, and then down, somewhere that wire is bad. There's a break in that wire. I have no continuity between this side of the wire and then that side of the wire. So, yeah, time to replace it. That's all there is to it. All right, so got the old wire pulled out. Like, nothing externally looks or feels like it's off or shouldn't be working. So let's go ahead and give it a check. Continuity is what we're checking for. And then we'll check resistance. Well, that's not what I was hoping to hear. So apparently this wire is good. So something else is not good. I hate wires. I hate electrical. I hate all of it. I'm a smart man in certain things. Electrical, really not. So I just wasted 45 minutes chasing down stuff. But let me walk you through on what happened. So I've got my new wire, just jumpered to other part of the switch, not a big deal. Testing all of my stuff from my fuse block. Cool, just run that and check it with voltmeter. Power's going in, power's going to my new wire. I get all the way over here. This is my new wire. Cool. I can use the Milwaukee and some pigtails. Power to the brown, which is what I'm supposed to. Ground to this upper ground up here. And everything works perfectly fine. You figured out what I'm doing? I'm trying to check voltage from this wire when hot from my my switch and using that ground up there. That is not going to work. The ground on my fuse block is not grounded to the chassis in anywhere in this system. Nowhere. The good news is I can ground the chassis of this trailer and run that ground to my fuse block or any of my existing grounds that I have in my system. And then the whole thing's gonna work. And I'm going to be sad because I just wasted so much time doing this. All right, so that little green wire runs all the way down and over. Ran out of black wire, so green and black, depending on the system, both kind of groundy. Let's go ahead, and we're still jumpered to this switch. And that green wire is now on the chassis, and we have got lights. It really is the bleeping simple things, like, yeah, I was checking ground to ground, but not my ground, since my batteries aren't really grounded to the chassis. Like, they are their own little thing, so I don't have to worry about potentially any backfeeding or any other issues with the factory system until I pull all that out. Anyways, yep, it works now. All right, so it's the second week in a row, or second video in a row, that I forgot to do the outro, which, sorry. All the wiring, winch, solar, and everything else, all those projects kind of melded together as I thought I did, and apparently I didn't. Anyways, if you have any questions on the wiring or the lights or what I did with the rest of my system, please don't hesitate to drop a comment, and I can help answer any of your questions. But again, this is pretty straightforward. All of the lights except for the overhead lights that I added, those LED strip lights, all of them were already on the trailer, so I just changed what power and what ground went into them, and that's really about it. Pretty straightforward process. We'll find out how much light I actually end up needing and how much I end up using, but for what I noticed and for what I need, I don't really need to have all 6 or even 8 lights on at a time. Just really 2, it would be sufficient for night activity, just getting stuff set and ready for bed. So anyways, hope you enjoyed it. Hope it has been a little bit informative, and we'll see you in the next one.